Come on, knock on his door. Take a step that is new. Where the cybercasts are, hers and his. In Laurel too. It's snack time.
Today we've got another inspired Bad Threes Company poem, and this one is from our good friend Ratboy, who he's got a great site on the internet, Rob House, aka Ratboy, and he's added a poem about Terry Alden, registered nurse from Threes Company. Why don't you come on and knock on our door with us? You ready? Terry Alden, registered nurse. Blonde hair, blue eyes, legs that go on for days. You're the cause of Jack Tripper's craziness. The naughty nurse of every schoolboy's wet dreams. Just ask Larry. He knows what I mean by it. Smart and savvy, no joisty half-wit. You, the Florence Nightingale of love, baby, through and through. Doctor chase you, soap stars date you. Don't spray her with that seltzer water, Jack Tripper. To see you in that white nurse's dress, to the wolves I would be flung, just to feel those hands, that hair, that tongue. Depressor. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ratboy. That was an incredible addition. Now to the story of today's snack. It's 3:15 and I will keep you waiting no longer. Okay, today's story is about my father. A wonderful guy, but when I was a kid, like a lot of us out there, I wasn't a latchkey kid, but like a lot of us, I didn't really know my dad too well. Oh, sure, now I've got a great relationship with him. You know, the kind you see on TV. We walk on the beach. Sometimes, you know, he'll just brush my hair and tell me stories. It's really a beautiful relationship, but when I was a kid, I didn't always have that close tie with Dad. You know, he worked long hours and often wouldn't get home until almost was my bedtime, so I didn't really know Dad. So where I'm taking is back to the first grade. Come on with me. You there? Well, here we are in Mrs. Winstead's class, my first grade teacher, and we are at Show and Tell. Do you remember Show and Tell? Well, in my class, Mrs. Winstead would make us sit around the circle, and she was just one of those, you know, flowery, hippie-ish kind of teachers who just wanted to get together and just share our feelings. And every day in Show and Tell, we'd have to tell something about ourselves. And one day, it was like a Monday, and I didn't know what to talk about, and I was a little shy. So it was my turn. All right, Terry, it's Show and Tell time. What would you like to share with the group? And I thought, well, Susie talked about her dad, so I guess I should talk about mine.
Okay. I'd like to tell the group that my daddy,
What's his name, Terry? Said Mrs. Winstead.
Well, my daddy, Ronald Fillmore Crummett, is, he's black.
And everyone went, what? And all the kids looked at me like I was crazy, because even back then I was like really blonde and blue-eyed and pale and freckly, and they were like, and all the kids were like,
your daddy's what? And I said, my daddy, Ronnie Fillmore Crummett, is black.
And my teacher, Mrs. Winstead, looked at me in shock, and she said, oh, Terry, were you adopted? And I said, no, I wasn't adopted. And she said, well, but she didn't want to be mean or insensitive, so she just looked at me weird, and she said, well, how's that possible, Terry? And I said, I don't know. And then I started really wondering. I was curious, and the rest of the day, after Show and Tell, all I could think of is, gosh, what's so weird about that? And I thought about it. Well, I started going down the list in my brain. Why do I think Daddy's black? And I thought, well, he's got black hair, really black hair, and every time he goes and works out in the yard in the summertime, he gets really, really tan, and he's got really thick lips, and he's just dark, has dark brown eyes, and he's black like a lot of people at our church, and there's nothing wrong with that. I went to a predominantly black church, and I told Mom, I said, Mom, why did everyone at school think it's so weird that Daddy's black? And she went, what did you say, Terry? Do you think your father is black? Do you really, because this is before African American was a popular term, do you really think that your dad's black? I don't believe you. You don't. So Dad came home that night, and she's like, guess what your son thinks about you, Ronnie? He thinks you're a black person. And he was like, Terry, why do you think I'm black? Do you really think I'm black there? And I said, well, Daddy, I thought you were black. basically, if anyone has any stories about their fathers being black, please write us at Snackboy, and I'll share your tale. Also, we've got more Three's Company poetry coming your way. If you've got 5, 10, or 15 minutes to spare, and you would like to write a bad Three's Company poem, it would be so appreciated. So far, Rat Boy shared one with us today, and it was beautiful and brilliant. There's characters we need to explore. We need good ones about the Ropers and Jack Tripper and
Cut.
Oh,